Few weeks back, the Lenovo-owned Moto announced its new G series phones. The Motorola Moto G line has built a solid reputation for quality, reliability, and most of all, a good value in an Android headset. What's up guys, DG here and welcome to everything you need to know kind of video. But this is going to be my top 5. So top 5 best new features about the Moto G5 and the G5 Plus. So let's begin. So number 5 is the build. Moto G5 and G5 Plus are by far the most premium looking G series phones by Moto. Motorola has used metal this time instead of plastic. The G5 Plus is the more premium of the two phones with slightly larger screen and slightly better specs than the regular G5. Both the phones have dual SIM capabilities but neither come with NFC, so there will be no contactless payments in your future if you pick one of these up. So number 4 is the software. Both the Moto G5 and the G5 Plus run on Android 7.2 Nougat with Moto's added value software features in settings. In fact, both run on Pixel Launcher with Google Assistant. Below the screen is a fingerprint reader which can fully replace the on-screen buttons to gestures. You can tap it for home, swipe left for back, and swipe right for the app switcher. Of course, you can change them in settings. At a 5.2 inches diagonal, removing the on-screen buttons gives you an appreciable bump in space. Number 3 is the specs. Moto G5 Plus rocks a Snapdragon 625 Adreno 506 GPU, 3 or 4 GB of RAM, 32 or 64 GB of internal storage, and a 5.2 inches Full HD IPS LCD display. The Snapdragon 625 is a mid-range octa-core chipset with 8 ARM Cortex-A53 cores clocked at up to 2 GHz. There is also micro SD card support, which means expandable storage up to 256 GB. This 14nm chipset is best known for its efficiency and should offer great endurance thanks to a 3000 mAh battery. There is also Moto's Turbo Power Tech, which promises 6 hours of battery life in just 15 minutes of charging. On the other hand, its younger brother, the regular Moto G5, has a Snapdragon 430 chipset, Adreno 505 GPU, 2 or 3 GB of RAM, 16 or 32 GB of internal storage, and a 5-inch Full HD IPS LCD display, all backed up with a 2800 mAh battery. The Snapdragon 430 is an octa-core chipset with 8 ARM Cortex-A53 cores clocked at up to 1.4 GHz. So the number 2 best feature of the Moto G5 is the camera. Moto G5 Plus rocks a 12 megapixel shooter with dual autofocus pixels with f1.7 aperture. Add 4K video capture and you get the basic specs of the Galaxy S7 camera without the S7 cost. On the other hand, the Moto G5 has a 13 megapixel rear camera with f2.0 aperture which maxes out at 1080p video. The camera app on both the devices offers full manual mode. The front-facing camera on both the devices is a 5 megapixel shooter with f2.2 aperture. So that brings us to the number 1 feature, which is the price. Back in 2013, Motorola changed the definition of budget smartphones by launching the original Moto G. Yet again, they have nailed the pricing. The Moto G5 Plus is priced at 16,999 Indian rupees or about $260 US, whereas the Moto G5 is priced at rupees 11,999 or about $190 US. So what do you think about these phones? Would you grab a Moto G5 or G5 Plus? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.